We've got Michael Bociurkiw, is Global Affairs Analyst and Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council, joins me now live from Sydney, Canada. Look, Michael, I'm sure you've been watching all these press conferences. Frankly, I just can't keep up with just how much messaging we've been hearing from so many leaders, and absolutely vital in terms of gauging where we're headed with what seems to be sort of diplomacy at the moment, but it could turn at any moment. Importantly, what did you think of Vladimir Putin's messaging today?
Yeah, well, what a diplomatic split screen to wake up to this morning. But look, Putin has basically echoed what his ambassador to the UN said yesterday, that he showed very little sign of contrition. I think, and I hate to say this, I think we are edging closer to war. However, this space for diplomacy, as people call it, is good because it does allow, for example, allies like the United States to negotiate with countries like Qatar to get more gas to Europe. So that allows a kind of fine-tuning of sanctions and preparations should things get very, very bad.
Yeah, Michael, and I have to say that the fact that we heard both leaders really driving home the economic angle here, the economic ties, and also Vladimir Putin really talking about cheap gas, it felt like he was almost dangling a carrot to other EU countries, saying, well, listen, you know, this is what's up for grabs. And he failed to kind of threaten the other end of the spectrum that there could be repercussions if his requests are not adhered to. How are you reading into the economic argument versus the diplomatic and security one?
Well, I think Mr. Putin is playing a very fine line here. He needs that Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, multi-billion-dollar gas pipeline bringing Russian gas to Germany to start. And if he continues to seemingly politicize the issue of energy, I think the Europeans, especially the Germans, will be less inclined to let that gas flow. But look, this is Putin's way of operating. You chip away bit by bit, you probe where you can find soft tissue, and then you move in. The other thing, Eleni, we have to remember, he is on his way to Beijing shortly for the opening of the Winter Games there. And I think we'll also have behind doors diplomacy happening there between Xi Jinping and Putin on when to make a move. Again, I think we are edging closer to war. Diplomacy is very important, but it doesn't seem to be getting through to Mr. Putin.
Yeah, and you've said this twice. We're edging closer to war, and this is a pretty scary prognosis that you're playing out here. Yeah. Ukraine is setting up these micro-alliances. You have Russia saying, you know, warning in terms of Ukraine joining NATO. How are you seeing sort of the geopolitical landscape playing out and the argument about securing Europe's borders, even though Putin was very clear about sort of giving up, you know, securing one country at the expense of others, which was also an interesting argument in itself?
Yeah, well, great question. Well, a couple of things there. I think one is Ukraine is acting smart, and they're doing, as you call it, these micro-alliances with Poland and the Baltic states. But the other thing that's happening is I think we're in a race against time. The West realizes they really have to prop up Ukraine. Ukraine feels it's been thrown under the bus for the longest time. So 88 million pounds in aid from the United Kingdom announced today to help Ukraine in its battle against corruption and to shore up its strength in terms of energy is very, very good. But the other thing we have to remember is, should the worst happen, Europe can expect massive refugee flow or flow of people across their borders. Don't forget, Ukrainians can just walk across the border. They border the EU or drive there. There's already a terrible humanitarian crisis going on right now from 2014. So not much reason to be optimistic. But however, again, it's good that this diplomacy and this aid is flowing.
Yeah. Okay, so what would it take to shift this conversation to avert the, you know, the prognosis you have of a war? And would that be contained to the Eastern European bloc? I'm trying to ascertain exactly which countries would be impacted and what Europe's role will be, even though Ukraine is not part of NATO. Okay, we are going to Kyiv. I'm sorry, Michael. We're going to cross live now to Boris Johnson and Vladimir Zelensky. Let's listen in.